Flaky, buttery, and filled with smooth, creamy custard, the egg tart is a beloved pastry enjoyed across the globe. But behind this simple dessert lies a rich, complex history that spans continents and centuries. From the monasteries of Portugal to the bustling streets of Hong Kong, this is the story of the egg tart. The egg tart's journey begins in 18th century Portugal within the walls of the Geronimo's monastery in Lisbon. Monks and nuns used egg whites to starch their clothing, leaving behind a surplus of egg yolks. Rather than let them go to waste, they crafted rich custard-filled pastries known as pastéis de nata. After the Liberal Revolution of 1820, monasteries across Portugal faced financial hardship due to discontinuation of religious orders. To survive, the monks of Geronimo's began selling their pastries to the public at a nearby sugar refinery. By 1837, they passed their secret recipe to the sugar refinery, which opened the now iconic Fábrica de Pastéis de Belém. To this day, the original recipe remains a closely guarded secret. As Portuguese explorers expanded their reach, so did their culinary traditions. Pastéis de nata arrived in Macau during the colonial period, where they would later evolve into a local favorite. Meanwhile, across the English Channel, British-style custard tarts with a firmer, smoother filling had already been a staple since the Middle Ages. These two traditions would eventually converge in unexpected ways.
Through British colonization and exploration, the egg tart made its way to the Guangzhou province in the early 1840s. Although it was not until the 1980s when it became popular due to the misconception about the custard filling being burnt. Andrew Stowe, a British pharmacist turned baker, adapted the original recipe of the custard tart, creating the renowned Macau-style Portuguese egg tart. Andrew, although would eventually become famous for the egg tart, would have to deal with the misconception of the burnt top and would solve it by renaming it the Portuguese egg tart, which would help rebrand and emphasize the technique, bruleeing. Andrew's help in the boom of the egg tart era would bring the egg tart into Hong Kong and help other bakeries to encourage the expanding of the knowledge on pastries. Although many stores would create their own version, the egg tart started the race in new and innovative pastries, which would end up with KFC serving egg tarts using the original recipe. Margaret Wong, Andrew's ex-wife, would open up her own store named Café de Nata in Macau using the recipe that Andrew and her spent months perfecting. While many looked for Margaret to lend or buy the recipe, KFC executives persuaded her by stating that they could discern her egg tarts from the lineup of imitators. KFC would then proceed to sell millions of egg tarts several years after the 2000s.
A Lord Stowe's egg tart. Oh my goodness, I would call it the perfect marriage between the crispy pastry crust and the wibbly wobbly custard filling. So to bite into a Lord Stowe's egg tart gives you that sensation of crispy and soft. I'm Eileen Stowe. I am the sister of Andrew Stowe, who created the egg tart that's now famous throughout Asia. Andrew came to Macau in 1979. What he did notice was that there was no roadside bakery, and so the idea was born to start a bakery. And on his proposal to the bank, way down on the list, he's got pastel de nata, which is the Portuguese egg tart. And he thought, I'll pop that in, just to be friendly to the Portuguese. But he didn't have the recipe either. So he used the Portuguese pastry case idea, but then put a British style custard inside, so presented it to his Portuguese friends, and they were horrified and said, oh, that's not a pastel de nata. So he handed it to these Chinese friends, and they went, oh, it's all burnt on top. He said, that's how it's supposed to be. It's not burnt, it's bruleed. So when he explained that to them, it was the Chinese that started embracing the egg tart. The Macau Chinese named it a Portuguese egg tart, because that was their way of differentiating it from dim sum egg tart.
Though both Hong Kong style and Portuguese style egg tarts share similar ancestry, their differences reflect the unique cultures that shaped them. Hong Kong style egg tarts are known for their smooth, silky filling and a choice between two crusts, a flaky puff pastry or a crumbly short crust base. The filling, made with evaporated milk, is less sweet and lighter in texture. Baked at lower temperatures, these egg tarts appear with a glossy, smooth surface and can be enjoyed hot or cold. On the other hand, Portuguese egg tarts use a laminated dough folded with butter to achieve an airy, flaky crust. The custard, enriched with whole milk, lemon peel, and cinnamon, is cooked over a stovetop before baking at high temperatures to create the signature scorched top. Served warm, they deliver a rich, creamier bite. Modern interpretations include flavors like matcha, chocolate, and even savory varieties, reflecting the creativity and adaptability of this beloved dessert. Beyond their deliciousness, egg tarts hold deep cultural significance. In Hong Kong, they're a fixture in ta tang tangs, casual cafes blending Eastern and Western flavors. Their round shape symbolizes harmony and completeness, making them popular during family gatherings and festive occasions. For many, egg tarts evoke a sense of nostalgia, a cherished after-school snack or a treat shared with loved ones. Egg tarts are also a staple of dim sum, where friends and family gather to share small bites over tea. Dim sum is more than just a meal. It's a centuries-old tradition deeply rooted in Hong Kong food culture. The tradition of dim sum began in tea houses along the Silk Road, where travelers and merchants would stop for a rest and a refreshment. Tea house owners began offering small snacks to complement their tea, and over time, this evolved into the culture of dim sum today. Egg tarts have also found a place in popular culture. From appearances in TV dramas to celebrity endorsements, these pastries represent comfort, identity, and the blending of traditions. Social media has only amplified their global reach, with DIY recipes and food influencers spreading their appeal worldwide.
Whether it's the buttery flakiness of a Portuguese pastéis de nata or the smooth, delicate filling of a Hong Kong egg tart, these pastries are more than just a dessert. They are a testament to cultural exchange and culinary evolution. Each bite tells a story, linking the past to the present, and reminding us that the most delicious traditions are often the ones shared across generations and borders. So the next time you enjoy egg tart, savor not only its taste, but the journey that brought it to your plate.